Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Havoc Hour. After a nice long layoff, I'm back at it again. I'm your host, as always, Wreak Havoc, and I'm joined by my frequent flyer, my guy, Mr. TC Fontaine from Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, as well as a nice little cameo from the Young Kings Wrestling Sovereign Soundboard.
And kudos points to anybody that know where that's from.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It's only from the best television show of the 1990s, in my opinion, my humble opinion, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Shout out to the Dragon Zord. Shout out to the greatest Power Ranger of all time, Tommy Oliver.
Yes, sir.
The GOAT.
Speaking all facts right now.
That's a fact. Like, he literally the greatest of all time. He the only Power Ranger to be in like multiple different series. He was in a movie only for like 3 seconds. I was kind of mad because they waited to the end to put him and Kimberly in the movie. Because honestly, I would have walked out of there as soon as they came on if they was in there earlier. Right. I didn't like the movie.
That's facts. I was trying to be accepting of it.
I couldn't. Like, I'm a day one, and that wasn't it for me. That was some like Dino Force type stuff for me. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was on the fence about it. I was trying to like embrace what they was trying to do, but it was rough on me. I ain't gonna lie. But how you been, man? You know, we did some work today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. For my wrestling fans out there, it's live now, so we can talk about it. Interviewed the Pope Elijah Burke, if you know who that is, from WWE TNA. He's currently the NWA television champion. That is live on our YouTube right now. Should be on Spotify soon as well. You know, they take a while to get that uploaded once it's all set up. But go ahead and check that out, man. It's like our first major, quote unquote, major interview that we've done. So I was proud of it, man. And he was hella cool, man. So enjoy it. I'm a bigger fan than I was before.
Yeah, man. You good peoples, for real. All right. So to start this off properly, I promised you and the other fans out there that I would allow y'all this time to get it out the way. They didn't pull up. You did. So I'm going to give you the floor here.
You see my background.
Because, if, you know, everybody watching on video, you see this background here.
We cut off the GOAT, but
we have not only the Los Angeles Lakers pulling away with an NBA championship this past month, but also just last week, the Dodgers secured the World Series championship. So LA
also
run through with championships.
Also,
what's up?
Also 7 days ago.
And also 7 days ago, yes, of
bow
course,
down to the new champ of WWE.
Sasha Banks has become now it's a 6 time.
7 time.
Seven time.
Robert Ory.
Yeah,
we count that NXT one. They count the NXT for Charlotte, and they counted for Bayley, and they counted for Asuka. So they counted for Sasha as well.
Okay.
7.
All right, so we'll say 7. 7 time women's champion beating Bayley at Hell in a Cell.
Robert Ory.
This past Sunday. So, my man, I'm gonna give you the floor and let you share with us how you feeling. It's the LA and Sasha Banks fan. Talk to us, man. How you feeling?
Man, listen, the high from the championships has come down. Since Reek wanted to wait almost a month to talk about the Lakers. The entertainment factor of this episode isn't going to be there. So instead, I'm going to let old friend of mine named Keith say how I feel. It feels so good. 17 championships, 18, depending on who you ask. If you ask me, I'm saying 18. But if you ask the NBA, they say 17 for some reason. It's most all time. And I ain't about to argue with Reek. It is the most all time.
It's tied, bro.
Regardless of whatever technicalities you got to say, it
It's tied,
is
bro.
the most. Most. Is it not the most? Is it not the most?
It's tied for the
Is it
most.
is it still not the most though?
Uh, in a manner of speaking.
Exactly. That's all that mattered to me. Shout out to the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they was on cowboy level scrutiny. Biggest chokers in the playoffs of the 2010s. And we not in the 2010s no more. So we won a championship. Honestly, the Lakers and the Dodgers, I was just thinking about this yesterday. The performances that they had at the end of their respective game fives in the championship rounds, embarrassing. We knew how the Lakers ended that game five with whatever the hell that was in the last minute.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma did some BS. Markieff Morris did the worst stuff I ever seen in my life.
Daniel Green.
Danny Green, oh my God. And they bounced back in game six. The Dodgers, the way they lost game five, I thought it was over for us. I was like, that's it. But I don't know how we bounce back. But we bounce back though. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. End of the day, we champions.
Yeah.
It's the city of champions. So whoever the previous city of champions were, I don't know who they were. Who was it? Boston?
I think so.
Fuck out of here.
Or
I love
Houston, I think. Houston.
No, they won one championship. They have the Texans and they have the Rockets. Never would they be a city of champions in anything.
Yeah. Was it the Astros?
That's all they had.
Yeah.
That's the only championship they won.
Yeah, wasn't that last year?
It don't count. It's an asterisk next to it. They cheated. So honestly, it don't even count. So this is a whole city full of losers and cheaters.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that too. So I think the loudest voice
I
heard in the midst of all this was Magic Johnson, because Magic Johnson is a majority or minority owner of Dodgers.
He a part owner. I don't know if it's minority or majority. I think it's his group. His ownership group actually owns the Dodgers. He partnered up with some other wealthy people.
Yeah, you know so he's been very vocal about now having a ring.
And I'll give Magic credit for the Lakers ring, as much as I feel like he don't really deserve it. Because he tried to sabotage this. But he got us LeBron, which was the catalyst for everything else. So that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna ask you. I'm like, being part owner is one thing, but he was supposed to be running the ship in LA.
He was bad at it.
He took off after Bron got there and everything like that. But I was gonna ask, like, do they get to where they at if Magic wasn't in that position to begin with?
Listen, if we had LeBron James and we didn't win a championship, Magic Johnson.
I'm packing the air, this gas or what?
That's all I'm saying, man. But shout out to LeBron, AD, the best power forward in the game. We got the best power forward in the game. We got the best player in baseball as well on the Dodgers. And we got them both via trade that we pretty much just robbed the Pelicans and the Red Sox. And robbing the Red Sox feels good to me too. I love it.
I'm certainly.
I can't believe they gave up Mookie Betts for that. Like, how you don't want to pay this man? One of the richest franchises in baseball, and you don't want to pay the best player in the game. Not that other guy that played for the other LA team. He don't count. I think people got to have an honest conversation about that, man. But today's not that day because I'm not an aficionado. Aficionado, is that the word? I'm not an aficionado of baseball like I am basketball. So I'm not going to comment too much on that. But get some baseball experts up here that be honest about your boy Mike Trout.
Yeah,
there's people out here in Vegas. We can ask Malik. Malik can be honest about Bryce Harper a little bit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
But
I think we all can.
yeah, Mike Trout, he's all right, but he's not real.
Yeah, I hear the name going around a lot, and I just don't understand the.
He don't got no swag neither.
I
How you
hope.
play? Like how you play in LA and you don't got no swag?
Yeah,
You're
that's
supposed to be
not.
the best player in baseball in LA. Look at compare Mookie Betts to Mike Trout. Mookie got the swag. He got the attention. He played for the better team, obviously. Shout out to Mookie. Shout out to LeBron James. Both of them guys, champions before coming to LA. Came to LA, champions again. So I love it.
So, are they running it back next year?
The Lakers, we can't. It's just I don't know when free agency is supposed to start up, but yeah, we gotta make some improvements. Mainly at the point guard position. That's really a point guard and some better shooters. And then we running it back. Don't let us get Brad Beal somehow. I don't know how, but don't let it happen.
I would
some
love to
shooters
see
and another
that.
point guard, man. I seen Jeff Teague is out there. Maybe Darren Collison is ready to come back finally. He make anybody might be an improvement over Rondo.
I would still keep him. Just don't start him, but I would keep him unless you get like a CP3 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind CP3, but I do mind the contract. That's $40 million for 30. How old is he? 37, 36.
He's up there
with injury troubles. Who's never made it out the conference finals? Who's only made it to the conference finals one time?
So, he's 35.
35.
The injury issue, yeah, and
a lot of injury history there.
38,
but probably the greatest point guard of this century.
Yeah, most definitely.
Not even probably, he definitely is. Like this guy is a legitimate general, man. This dude is the best point guard I ever seen. Just from playing point guard, and me, I don't want to be that guy, but just for my analogy's sake, I'm gonna be that guy. Me, I'm a point guard every time I make my mod player on 2K when I used to play it. And I will watch Chris Paul, and that's how I will play with my mod player. Like it's just I'm getting guys the ball, not on the assist hunt stuff, but I'm really getting dudes in their spots. Like I'm really running the show. And I owe that to Chris Paul. That's how I play on the game. Not that good hooper in real life, but on the game though, I'm out here. I'm Chris Paul Jr. Not the little boy that be in the State Farm commercials. That's me. Yeah, man.
No matter what y'all do, please sign Melo. Get that man a ring. Please, man.
We could trade for Melo and I'll be fine because, like, man, we got some Melo cosplayers on the team and they not as good. That's all I'm saying. I love those guys, but they just not as good.
There's some fellas out there that's in real estate playing on the court. They got to.
Sometimes they go down. Shots go down sometimes, but sometimes
they got to go because they almost blew it. I'm not gonna say no names. Daniel.
Carl Kuzma.
Talking about Game 5,
And this would make no sense to me either. Go back to what year was that? 2013 finals. Heat and the Spurs. Danny Green was lights out. He almost won MVP. We get to this year, it came out that he was hurt. Like he couldn't get no lift in his, he had like an ankle injury or something. So that affects your jumper. But I remember a bunch of people that don't know basketball. Kobe had a sprained ankle once, and he just started missing shots. And people was like, ain't nothing wrong with his arms. And I was like, You never play basketball before in your life.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
It's all about that lift. You gotta get good lift on your jumper. You can't get good lift on your jumper, and it's some
It's
struggle.
called a jumper.
Right.
You have to jump. Oh man.
It'd be like some dudes that don't jump on their jumpers and still be going down. It'd be the one dudes that be at your local gym. It look like they can't hoop, and you just don't choose them, but then they light your ass up.
Oh man, those be them rough days.
Man, the worst thing is ever playing basketball with a football player. That's the worst. Because they don't know how to act. They out here just tackling. They play like Patrick Beverly times 100. And it's bad.
That's all I know how to do is play defense.
No, it's me too. Like I said, I ain't the best hooper. The thing is, I taught myself like a perfect jumper. Like 2 weeks before Christmas break, my senior year of high school. And that layoff, I forgot how to shoot. And I could never teach myself like the motion of it again. I was so mad because I didn't work on it the whole break. I was like, bro, I could finally shoot this month. And I just couldn't get back to it, man. The defense though, I watched a lot of Ron Artest back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. I watched how people defend number 2-4 back in the day, and that's kind of how I model my game a little bit.
That's crucial.
And it's all about don't watch the ball. You gotta watch where your opponent's hips is moving. That way you know where they're moving. You can move along with them. If you watch that ball, dudes do a whole bunch of trickery with the ball.
Yes,
like
sir.
Kyrie, you watch the ball with Kyrie, you gonna fall.
That man will turn into a magician.
Man,
if your eyes ain't focused. Oh my goodness, and Steph too.
Oh, Steph is the most unguardable player in basketball history.
Steph did some stuff the past couple years that was just criminal.
2016 Steph, I'm pretty sure you've seen above the rim.
Mm-hmm.
2016 Steph, I would understand if one of their opponents just went back to the bench and just got a gun out their bag. It just like set it off. Because 2016 Steph was so disrespectful. That half court shot he hit on the Thunder, I think it was a Saturday night game. Man,
listen,
that guy is.
When he had Chris Paul playing Twister,
bro.
That would have been an issue with me. I'm sorry. I'm a grown man. You can't have me doing this.
That's why Chris Paul be so angry all the time.
I would be too. Shoot.
It's like, man, dudes out here be embarrassing me, man.
All kinds of stupid. Crazy. Anyway.
Hey, Steph Curry, man, like this dude, that year he hit like 400 threes. Nobody's ever hit more than like 270 something. Mm-hmm. And Steph Curry hit like 300. I want to say it might have been like 280. This dude the next year hits 400, breaks his own record. That guy.
I think that we should consider having them arrested.
I agree.
Yeah.
Lock him up. He's disrespectful. I'm actually scared to see him come back. He had a whole year off from playing basketball. And he got LASIK surgery.
That's what I'm saying too. I'm like, you gonna tell me you doing all that and you have blind?
You couldn't see?
You're not allowed to play no more.
You tell me you did all that and you couldn't see?
Like, nah, man. Oh, so it's Sunday. You went through another slate of NFL action. Did you watch?
Catch that Bears game?
I did. That's actually something I was going to touch on too. Did you happen to see this fight that broke out?
What the hell?
I don't.
Javon Mims.
I'm really confused as to what happened here because
I don't know what led up to it because I wasn't watching it. I just I just happened to log onto my timeline. I think we were still recording our show at the time, so I logged onto the timeline and like right as it happened. And like, why would you punch somebody with a helmet on?
But see, in this, I don't get that because there was a fight yesterday between Florida and Auburn where
I saw that too.
they was going at. I'm like, yo, y'all are really swinging at helmets. Y'all are insane. I remember getting into fights in football. I played. I remember that. But I was grabbing dudes and throwing them. I wasn't swinging on a helmet. I'm not crazy like that. But so this is what, from what I saw, the Saints defensive back, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he got into another dude's face. I think it was Anthony Miller. Got into his face. It was John a little bit. And I guess just on the next play, Javon said, oh, you was getting in my man's face. I'm gonna come at you. So he walks up to him, and I get he tried to debo him. I guess grab his chain or something like that, and then immediately after that, swung at his helmet twice. Like, what? I don't understand. And nothing else was going on. Like my dude was just standing here. He
like
ran up.
CJ gave him this look like, you stupid.
Right. Like he was just standing here minding his business, and this clown just ran up. They did the whole motion like he grabbing his chain and then swung on them twice. I'm so confused, bro. Like I seen Zay on Twitter. He was like, "Yo, I think the CTE is real with this dude because I don't know what's up with him." I agree. Like that don't make no sense. I don't know what you're doing out here, man.
And it seems to happen all the time too. And it's like, bro, like those helmets is meant to protect, more than just a punch with a fist. While you punching with your fist, thing is gonna do something.
And can we talk about this chain snatching stuff? Why is this becoming a thing? Like ever since,
why y'all wearing chains on the field anyway?
Well, that first and foremost, like that's money that I'm not having. I never used to even think about putting on nothing extra when I went out there. But it's like, y'all spent money for that. Why are you wearing it? Like, I used to get, back in the day, guys would wear earrings and stuff like that. You got a helmet on. It shouldn't be no problem there. But I got chains on and stuff. Come on, be smart. Like Odell, when he had them $500 watches. Like, come on, bro.
If somebody tried to snatch Odell's chain a couple years ago, somebody tried to snatch Cam's chain earlier this year.
Yeah. Which, again, it's like, he said that has meaning to him. It's like, okay, if that has meaning to you, why are you wearing it when you're playing? Like, that shouldn't be nowhere near the field. But I just don't get where it's happened from. Like, ever since Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree was having...
That was another one, too.
World War III over this chain snatching stuff. Like, ever since then, it's like, you find, a couple games a year with somebody trying to pull it again. Like, oh, snatching chains. Why, bro?
I don't know.
What's up with y'all?
I don't know, man.
They just want to start something.
It's I don't have a sound bite, but remind me to add it. The CTE.
Yeah.
CTE records.
Yeah, that needs to.
I'm gonna need that.
That needs to go up. Oh, so you don't happen to have Stephen A's accident waiting to happen, do you?
No.
Because an accident happened just a few minutes ago out there in Philly. That them old Cowboys.
Ooh. Yeah. I don't even know the dude's name, bro. Ben DiNucci?
Yeah, Ben. I've never heard that name before.
He was playing like some coochie.
He sound like he belonged in one of them old Italian movies back in the 90s. Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, DiNucci.
And he don't.
You gotta go over to the Nucci's.
He don't need to be playing. Honestly, I think
they could have had me out there, would have had the same result, man.
I think Dallas
paid a lot less money.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas wins another game the rest of the season, and that's a shame too, because I had them like looking real solid going into the season. They added CD Lamb, and that offense looking solid. Dak was playing out of his mind without getting his money, and ever since he fell out, with that ankle.
Bro, every time I look at the Cowboys roster every week, I'm just like,
who are these niggas?
Because I don't know. Like, besides CD, they got some dudes on the defense. Like, they got DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, Go Big Red. But on offense, besides Zeke, is Zeke and some other dudes that I seen the dude that was on their receiving core tonight. Couldn't tell you none of them besides CD. Like I don't even think Amari Cooper really even got no touches like that.
Nah, he sure didn't. It was a rough night for him.
It's all bad, man.
I think total all the receivers combined had less than 10 catches, I think, because they were showing up the graphic earlier. It was just pitiful.
When nobody throwing the balls, I feel it. They had Zeke being Wildcat.
Yeah, and it's like they don't even. I don't think they want to play no more. I think they just done. And it's like I saw it after that hit on Andy Dalton last week, which was just shameful. Mm-mm. Dude tried to knock his head in the next week, and then nobody do nothing. When your quarterback get hit like that, anytime your quarterback take an unnecessary hit, everybody going. It's like that's like your brother. You know what I'm saying? Right. Getting into a fight and the whole block is sending out with you like, no, we all in there. You all just start a whole riot over it. My man got hit, planted into the ground, wasn't moving, and everybody just walked around like it was a business meeting or something. That's bad. That honestly,
they either don't fuck with bro,
honestly,
or they just over it.
McCarthy got to lose his job after that,
which is wild because
that's terrible.
I don't think he should have been hired in the first place. Honestly,
I don't either.
I think my thing is when a coach gets fired for I don't know what reasons, but it seems like you lose the trust of your star player, like he did. Like he seemed to have lost the trust in Aaron Rodgers for a few years, and then he just was let go. And he gets hired. I think was he gone for about a season, or did he get hired immediately?
It was a season he was out, the whole season.
Yeah, so he comes back. He's with the Cowboys, whereas like the Cowboys didn't really upgrade. This is a dude that hasn't won a Super Bowl in 10 years. He hadn't gotten. He won a playoff game maybe like 2 or 3 seasons in the last 10 years since that Super Bowl. Yep. It's not good. And then the Giants hired the Cowboys coach. He's not doing nothing for them on their offense. It's all bad. NFL needs some better hiring standards.
They do. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of going out and getting college coaches to come up, but for the longest time they've been talking about looking at Lincoln Riley. I would have rather them gone. Honestly, I would have rather them gone and do that.
I don't trust him
instead of getting Mike McCarthy. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest proponent of it, but I would trust that over Mike McCarthy because truthfully, they won that Super Bowl 10 years ago because of Aaron Rodgers, and the big reason that they fell out with between trusting each other was because Mike McCarthy was too stagnant with his play calling. Aaron Rodgers is like I know what I'm looking at out here, so Mike was shedding the plays in. And Aaron would change him on the fly, like, okay, I'm gonna do this since you're not listening, and that was the issue. That was where the miscommunication started. But I guess he's kind of learned from that, and offensively it was showing because Dak was killing. He was leading the league, passing and everything like that. But the rest of the team, it's not resonating with everybody else. Like they're not up for this guy, and their leader is gone, and it's like they ready to pack it in. They're not playing like they want to win at all anymore. And I think that the biggest thing
in the middle of a pandemic.
Yep, the biggest thing was the biggest thing was seeing Demarcus Lawrence. He called them out. Like y'all gotta have more heart. We gotta play better. Zeke too. And you just see them like they pissed off, but they just one player.
We gotta play for them, man.
It's like, and the crazy thing is, they're not out of it because the NFC East is trash.
Yeah, that's a crazy part. We're gonna have a team with 5 wins in the damn playoffs. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Even that, because I think they're 2-6 now, but the Giants are 1-7,
and they still got a chance to win it. That's ridiculous.
Who's Washington? Washington's 2-5.
Football team.
Yeah. Washington football team is 2-5. The Giants are 1-6, about to be 1-7 after tomorrow because Brady's coming to town.
Oh yeah.
And Philly
And
moved
then
up
like
to
I'm looking.
4-1.
And it's you brought up the Bucks. I'm looking forward to next week, man. It's gonna be a battle next Sunday.
Man.
Tom Brady, 559 touchdown passes. Drew Brees, 560. You know they going back and forth. Oh, that's they old as hell, but they gonna go back and forth. Somebody's arm might fall off next week.
Oh yeah, it's coming. And I'm gonna tell you something too. First and foremost, the Bucks. I think the biggest improvement I've seen with them is on defense, because everybody was looking at Brady and the embarrassment of riches that he got on offense. But the start of the season, they were still working on gelling. It wasn't looking good. The defense is been stepping up big.
Davis.
Yeah, yo, and you see what they did to Aaron Rodgers a couple weeks ago? Like
they had that boy. What was it? 38 unanswered points from the offense. They shut Aaron Rodgers out after one touchdown.
Yeah, and that's really what made me say, okay, this team is really gonna step up now. And now they got Antonio Brown in there, and this is my second thing. Tom Brady at some point in time either needs to be man of the year or a special NFL award just for himself as a GM/player, because this dude, I mean, to make sure that he got Antonio Brown in there. Antonio Brown has been staying at his crib. He's staying at his house while he gets acclimated to the playbook and everything like that. He's getting this dude's
That's
mental
how it was
right.
last year.
Yeah. He getting this dude's mental right, introducing him to Tony Robbins and everything like that. Just going out of his way to make sure he's good. To get him on a squad on a team that's already loaded offensively. Like, you can't tell me that Tom Brady don't go out of his way. This conversation that we've had, and I'm gonna get to this too, about who's gonna thrive after this breakup between Brady and Belichick. It's not looking good, man.
Belichick tanking. He just not making it obvious. He did the most tanking thing I ever seen him do earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
This guy, we scored a touchdown to tie the game up. Third quarter, 6 minutes left. What does he do? Instead of kicking it off like normal coaches would, like Bill Belichick would any other time, this guy kicks an onside kick when the game tied in the third quarter. We didn't get it back, and they scored a touchdown at the very next drive. Bill is tanking. He just is so beneath Bill Belichick to tank that he not obvious tanking like the Falcons. Like Falcons is just blatant. Like whatever that last week against the Lions, what was that?
I don't have words for that, because we everybody was focused on Matt Stafford, and granted, Matt Stafford is cold in the fourth quarter when he got a shot to win the game, but all Todd Gurley had to do was not score. That's all he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but Atlanta is finding very creative ways to blow it. That's
it's just very blatant tanking. Whereas like Bill Belichick's tanking is just like, I know for sure we tanking. If 3 o'clock, I think it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock goes by on Tuesday and there's no trade made, then it's like, damn, we really not about to do nothing. The only trade that's going to be made is the one I told you about earlier. Stephon Gilmore is getting out of town because, $8 million cap hit next year. Not something the Patriots will pay for anybody.
I can tell you this. If he's going to,
it's the best defensive player in football.
It is the perfect time to do it. And there's
Where
more than enough teams that will gladly take him in that can do something.
Who secondary needs some help?
I'll say Seattle, but
if you go to Seattle, that's nasty.
Yeah.
That wouldn't even be fair.
Because they crazy thing, they do need secondary help.
They do, but it's
But I
just like
mean,
everywhere else
the
they
way
great.
the way Russ and that offense is playing, it's like it don't even matter. So if you add him into that mix, it's like forget about it, bro.
It's the best cornerback with locks to ever play for Seattle. That's for sure.
What? What? Time out. Time out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The best corner with locks to play in Seattle?
Nigga, what?
I know a fella that might have some questions when it comes to that statement.
Nope.
I don't know. I'm just joking, man. Shout out to my guy Sherm. That's my dude.
Oh man, yeah. But I said this earlier. I'm not used to seeing this from the past. I've been praying on it. I've wanted to see them fall
They
for
don't
so
hit.
long, but it's not satisfying
It's a
to me because
pandemic.
it's like they don't even look like
This
themselves.
season don't count. That's why
Yeah.
it don't really hit.
Like I knew they wasn't going to be the same because of everybody that opted out. You know, they didn't have no receivers. You know, Cam, even if he was healthy, was only going to be able to do so much. It's like I knew they wasn't going to be the same, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Like they played a banger against Seattle early on, so I'm like, okay, so they'll still be competitive, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know,
COVID
and I
happened.
mean, you know, Buffalo wins this game today. They're 6-2, and Miami is looking scary now. They went out and they trashed the Rams today.
I wouldn't say they look scary. They just faced Jared Goff.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm talking the team in general. You know what I'm saying? Like Jared Goff, I got opinions on Jared Goff that go way back. I don't even think he should have even been in the top 10 in the draft, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, Miami defensively, they just
Which is crazy
past
because
couple
like
weeks.
when you think about it, Brian Flores, the coach for the Dolphins, was our defensive coordinator in that Super Bowl versus LA. So he already knew what to do, you know, to scheme for that. And he embarrassed them again, just like he did back then.
That is crazy, man. And it's like the last
Jared Goff
couple
sees
weeks.
Flores in his nightmares.
Yeah, the last couple weeks they've been doing it because they went up. I remember they went up to San Francisco, dropped like 43 points on them. And this is perfect now because you know Tua's in there now. I don't know why they did that to Fitzpatrick. I'm hurt for that man. I think he should leave, get out of town.
He retired.
And I could give him one more year because he was playing good. Like give him one more year to just you know some team that doesn't have a solid quarterback position. At least till you draft the next guy, and then you can whisk him out of there. But
It was
it's like
one season.
he was doing good, and you just yanked him.
It was one season. Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't remember what year it was. I want to say like 2011, 2012. One of them years, and I don't remember who he played for, honestly, but they was hyping him up. Like he was getting features on ESPN and stuff, and then like
I think it was 2011.
He had a bad game. Never talked about him again.
It was probably 2011 because I remember
it was hyping him up though.
Yeah, that was
a good like 3-game stretch.
He was still on the Bills, and I think they started off about 3-0. And it was hyping them like, oh yeah, the Buffalo might do something this year.
Oh, they got a Harvard quarterback. Yeah. Like, nobody cares, bro.
Yeah, nah. He was
every time ESPN hype somebody up, man, they fizzle.
Yeah.
Or they lose. Something happens. Like same thing happened with Russell Wilson, his senior year at Wisconsin. It was hyping Wisconsin up like they was them dudes, and I don't remember who they lost to. They lost, and that was it for him. They stopped talking Heisman. They stopped talking Maxwell, all that.
Which is crazy because Russ went in the third round of that draft.
Russ is cold.
Everybody was talking about Andrew Luck, RG3. Neither of them two are still in the league at all anymore.
Russ out here putting up MVP caliber season.
Russ has a ring already. Mm-hmm. And right now is putting up MVP numbers. It's not even close no more. Like this dude is just destroying every team he goes against right now. That's why I said like even defensively they could use some secondary help because they're giving up a lot of points every game. But as long as he still got his pieces out there, DK Metcalf is like it's a cheat code right now. Tyler Lockett, as long as he got all those guys out there and he's good, it don't matter. It don't matter.
They're
What
gonna try to
happens.
sign Marshawn Lynch again.
I think that's just about out of juice right now. Like, you know, Marshawn can go out there and run over just about anybody, but it's like after
The thing
a
is,
while,
like,
the
he wasn't in
production
shape last year. They tried to bring him back. He just wasn't in shape. They brought him in the last like month of the season. He just was fat, trying to run, out of breath, gassed up. Like let him get like an off season, and I think he might could still be effective. Honestly, that's just me.
Once you hit that age 30, they're already looking at you different. If you hit age 30 and you look sluggish, forget about it.
Then he good in Seattle though. Like Seattle's not gonna treat him like any other franchise probably would.
Yeah, they know
like
better.
This dude, he literally put Seattle on the map. 2010 playoffs versus New Orleans. That beast quake in the dome.
Oh my God!
He put them away, and they had 7 wins. That put Seattle on the map right there. So he really just put them on, and they won the Super Bowl a couple seasons later.
That's a fact.
That's my dog, man. Shout out to my guy.
You real for that one, man. Oh, so
What's next on tap?
So we was talking about Vegas. They got a nice little win over there against Cleveland. I mean, that's not saying much because Baker Mayfield is trash, but
right.
They looking pretty solid right now. They 4-3, 3-1 on the road right now. You know, Derek Carr's looking better.
Can't win at the crib, man. They won that one game versus the Saints at the crib, and they ain't lost ever since.
Yeah, they spent too much money on that joint to not be winning there. That's.
It was. That wasn't just for them. So, it just like the Falcons Stadium wasn't built for the Falcons. It was built for their MLS team, the one only team in Atlanta that can win anything, and nobody cares about it because people don't like soccer. So, especially people like soccer. They don't like MLS soccer. So, nobody cares about that. These stadiums, when they put bum-ass football teams in these stadiums, you just got to remember, these stadiums have so much more that they can use them for. And, the sports team is probably the least thing. It's just now you can't really do anything in it because it's a pandemic and we're not, having big events yet. So it's just sitting there, looking, the Raider Stadium just sitting there looking real nice, looking like the Death Star. And it's only used on the weekends. It's not used any other time. And after December, it won't be used for a while. So we get some boxing events up in there. Like, Let's get Crawford and Spence in there if that ever happens. I'm in there, front row.
That's the one to do. And you know what? We're gonna touch on that in a second. But last thing before we go to there, you feeling like the Lamar Jackson hype is dying? Feeling like it's starting to drop off now? Because that's the vibe I'm getting when I watch him now.
I love watching Lamar Jackson when he was at Louisville. And big fan of him. He won the Heisman. And I remember I was so depressed when he got drafted to the Ravens. Because, I was mad. Nobody was picking him. And he fell all the way to the Ravens. And if there's one NFL team I hate, it's the Baltimore Ravens. So him going to the Ravens, man, he became an enemy. So they had that one season where he was just cold, and he won the MVP last year. And I was praying on the Ravens' downfall every time. Oh. I like seeing him, do his thing. I support him, but now it's like teams got him figured out. He's a one-trick pony.
I feel like he just coming back down to earth a little bit. Like he had 2 touchdowns today, but then he had 2 picks. One of them went back for a touchdown in like the first minute.
And whatever the hell that last play of the game was,
I don't know. It's like you forcing something
that shows his limitations.
Yeah, you forcing that pass in the coverage. It's like it was 3 dudes around there. You know that's not getting caught at all.
And why can't black quarterbacks read defenses? Like why? Like Russell Wilson and Cam to a certain extent, really the only ones who can.
Yeah,
that bothers me.
I don't know, man. And you know what's crazy?
That makes us look bad.
You know what's crazy? Pat Mahomes said that first season that he got to start,
he didn't know how to read defense.
He had no idea. My man was just going out there playing.
Serious?
He just said he was just out there just playing football. That's scary to think about,
bro.
Like, oh, that's real quick. But
I can't stand Pat Mahomes neither.
Yeah, well,
he too good. like the way he if I get mad when I watch you play, and it's like I know how people who hated Steph Curry like 4 years ago felt. Like one of my good friends, David, just despised Steph Curry. Like this dude wanted to see Steph Curry's downfall so bad. And at the time, I'm like, bro, it's just basketball, bro. Like I hate Paul Pierce, but I ain't gonna go off on Paul Pierce like that.
Right.
But when I watch Pat Mahomes, now I understand because I'll be like, bro, this dude is too good. It just angers me. Like, why? And I watch that Kansas City team play. Like seeing Andy Reid win a championship hurt me a little bit because like it's too many players and it's too many teams in the past few years that were bona fide loser teams and bona fide loser players that I enjoy, coaches too, that I enjoy just making fun of because they can never get the job done. And then all these teams is out here winning. The Cavaliers won a championship. The Cubs won a championship. Cubs ain't win nothing in 100 years. 100 years. And then the Eagles won the Super Bowl at the expense of my team. It's bullshit. The Raptors won, hurt me a little bit. Andy Reid won a championship. I ain't like that.
He deserved that though. It's his the length of his career. All that time with the Eagles, everything like that. He deserved one. Outside of Belichick, he's the longest tenured coach and has the best resume after Belichick out of any coach.
What kind of resume? What's his resume?
Andy Reid?
What's his resume?
He up over 100 wins, I think.
How many of them was in the playoffs?
A whole lot of them because he spent a lot of time in the championship games.
He did. How many of them he win? One?
Yeah. Till he got to Kansas City.
And how many he won in Kansas City before last year?
Well, it was in championship games. Right? He actually, hold up. Andy Reid won over 200 games.
He won a lot in the regular season. I'll give him that. It's just like when it matters. Yeah, that's my parameters. Like,
well, yeah. I mean,
that's cool. Like,
he spent too much time.
It's cool when people win a lot. That's also true.
Like he really.
I might give him the benefit of the doubt over that alone. Off of that alone, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Using Philly, they just glorified losers. In the words of Meek Mill, in the now deleted tweet, but screenshots are forever. Eagles is a disgrace! ! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark!
That's a fact.
It's true though. What's next, Reed?
Oh man! All right, so I said I was gonna get into this. We saw that fight last night, right? Well, y'all did. I caught the.
I did not get to see it. I did log on to Twitter, and I was like, "Damn, slept my guy," which is like, Tank. Listen,
Who's hanging with this man? Like, who's really?
Nobody.
I really, up
Nobody in that division is hanging with him. The
until he
only person
lost.
closest to him is probably Lopez, and
That's
they ain't really close at all.
that's what I'm saying. Like until he lost, I said maybe I'll see Lomachenko, but he lost.
I never saw Lomachenko, which is crazy to me because Tank was always ducking Lomachenko before Loma lost to Lopez a couple weeks back. And I'm like, why Tank scared to face this dude when he would work him some vicious. And we saw what Lopez did to him. And like I said, Lopez is not in Tank's caliber. So nobody can stop him, but Tank going to have some good fights, man. I like to see him go up against Ryan Garcia. Lopez, I want to see that one too. That should be good.
I'm with that. Most definitely.
Shout out to Tank, man.
The competition is getting slim out here. Real slim.
Oh, yeah.
You
might have to hold it down while my young Lions work their way up to him. My guy Shakur, my guy Devin Haney, they work their way up to him, and then we might get some cracking. They might give him some trouble because those are fights I want to see in the future. Give me a few years, and we're gonna get that going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I need that in my life.
I feel you. You ready for a Conor McGregor comeback?
Who?
The notorious Conor McGregor.
Who?
Who
the fuck is that guy?
Nope.
He can go away. Well, he coming back now because Khabib retired?
Oh, listen. The fight, they got him versus Dustin Poirier inked to fight. I believe it's in January. It's a done deal. And the funny thing too, like all this news.
Do people care about Conor McGregor anymore?
Oh, of course. It's
I honestly don't, and I'm really ashamed of people because they really thought Conor McGregor could beat Floyd Mayweather at boxing.
Oh, listen, those are people that are delusional, and they enjoy,
being the devil's advocate.
Not even that. They just enjoy soaking in the hype. Like Conor is a phenomenal MMA fighter. That no question about it. He's not He's not great on the ground, but standing up wise, kickboxing wise, there are very few who are better right now. But in terms of boxing, that there was never going to be a question of, Floyd can, Conor can get Floyd here or there. Like
I did win $20 off that fight though.
20.
I should have bet more.
You didn't find no suckers?
Nah, because the one person that did it, it was just like he knew, but he an MMA guy, so he had to hold it down for his MMA, even though he knew what was gonna happen. So it must be nice because me, I'm not. If I know I'm gonna lose $20, I ain't about to bet it.
I said this, and this is just purely because I'm being fair. I said anybody who's a puncher has a puncher's chance, but realistically,
against Mayweather, no,
exactly. That's what I said too. Like I can't not give a guy a puncher's chance, but against Floyd Mayweather, who is arguably the greatest defensive boxer of all time.
Like actual boxers don't hit him. So
what are you gonna do?
One guy gonna come in and hit him. And Conor was slow as well. Like his punches was very slow. I don't know how what that get to, like the 8th round,
10th.
And
honestly, I feel like Floyd carried him 7th.
He did.
Yeah, it's like
he let him win like the first 2-3 rounds of that fight.
Yeah, because the first couple of rounds, you gotta make it look good, and Conor's getting his shots in and everything like that. But it's like Floyd's just playing. Floyd didn't even do a whole camp for this fight. Floyd got on the bike, you know what I'm saying? Did his running and everything like that. He didn't really train for this fight. That tells you all you need to know right there.
Right.
So if he put some time in camp, that's your ass. But they gotta sell. They gotta make this money. They pulled off a heist. That's what they did. Floyd wanted a bigger payday.
$100
$100 million. Floyd wanted a bigger payday.
on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. He wanted an opponent that could sell a fight because Floyd, all his opponents up to that point, he had to sell the fight. It was always on him. Yeah.
That was nasty.
It was always
that's a
on
nasty
him.
last fight.
Yeah. But it was always on him to sell the fight. Conor is a freaking
Press conference is very
machine. Oh yeah, exactly. And that's the point. You want to sell the fight to the
I didn't like him telling Floyd to dance for him though. Dance for me, boy. That was
That's racist.
But he knew what he was doing though. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He wants to push those buttons on purpose. And that's all part of it. It's like you're getting more attention. And Floyd, more than anything, it's like he knows from a business standpoint, that's the biggest reason he takes this fight. Because it's like, yo, there's dollar signs all around this dude. I might could smoke him, but the money that I'll make just from stepping in there with him and making this look good, cut the check. Let's do it.
Cut the check.
And for Conor, it was a win-win because it's like he was trying to get more money out of UFC. He had won 2 belts in 2 divisions, and he still was making chump change. So he was like, all right, cool. Y'all don't want to cut me this money. I'm going to go over here and get me a boxing fight, get me some real money, and now what y'all going to do? And that's what he's been at. But now Khabib, made his little emotional retirement, which coming out of the weekend, apparently that might not even be finalized because Dana White says he's been talking to him about, he's thinking about doing one more to make it 30-0 even. So Khabib being retired isn't even 100% finalized right now. We might see him fight again. And after that, you still got to have...
actually would keep his promise and stay retired.
I think so too. But I'm just like, if he's saying,
a lot of money,
one more to get, the record because he's at 29. Yeah. So one more to get the record from 29 to 30. I don't know. We have to see. But, this opens the door now because, lightweight is probably the most stacked division in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got a lot of killers up at the top. And, now with Conor taking advantage of this opportunity. And it started off as something that they was trying to do a charity fight. Like, Conor wasn't even seriously looking at nothing. But now that this opportunity is open, well, go right ahead. Why not? They got to cut the check. So.
Cut that check, man.
For real, though. And then the other thing that really got me, Israel Adesanya is going up in weight. He going to fight Jan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight championship, which means we that much closer to seeing John Jones and Izzy Adesanya, which supposedly, as he says, is going to happen next year. I'm all for that.
I don't know if I've said my opinion on John Jones on this show before, but yeah, don't really rock with bro like that or at all. So
he's not everybody's cup of tea from a personal standpoint, but the man's the GOAT through and through.
Nah.
What you mean? What you mean?
You can't be the GOAT and be a cheater.
Didn't nobody say for real that he cheated. Nobody can prove that he cheated.
And he a crackhead.
Well, I mean that's a wild life he was living. You know what I'm saying?
The whole family crackheads. All his brothers is crackheads too.
His brother's playing the NFL. What you mean?
Chandler Jones, the last game he played for the Patriots. You remember that one game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the year, but it was like the last regular season game. I think it was the first playoff game, and Chandler Jones didn't play, and they never said why. Well, I'm not. I got sources like you, Reek. So I had some sources from some Pats fans in Boston, and they clued me in on what went down with your boy Chandler Jones. And this dude was smoking some K2 the day before a playoff game and had to get admitted to the hospital. So the whole family is full of druggies.
Oh man.
You didn't hear that from me though. But it's on record. I said
I mean, let's say we on it in here now.
that's all I'm gonna say though. I ain't about to go into too much detail, but a whole lot. I mean, Pats fans know the deal at this point though. They kind of, you know, that was what was going around the rumor mill with my my source, and then it kind of came out like a few weeks later of what went down. But I just had the extreme details of it. It was a lot more than that, but yeah, dude had to go to the hospital for smoking K2. Don't smoke K2. You an NFL player. You can't get regular weed, bro.
I'd like to think so, but that's just me. I don't understand half the things these dudes be doing in the league nowadays when they got money and
CTE,
resources.
baby.
I don't know what to tell you. You know, I for to an extent I understand because they don't offer a lot of leeway, and we talked about this earlier. With the whole situation with you get hooked on pills like with wrestlers.
Mhm.
Wrestlers they're always in pain because they're on the road taking these bumps week in and week out, and
I can smoke now.
the biggest thing. Oh yeah, the biggest thing was all about they get these pills to knock the pain down. They couldn't smoke weed because they drug test, and once you pop the drug test, that's 30-day suspension. Same thing with the league. It's like you pop for a drug test, you pop for weed.
In the field, I can smoke now.
Indefinitely, and now finally, it's like they're starting to understand. It's like I don't know
And
why.
this is how dumb football players are. This is how dumb they are. They didn't vote to take the franchise tag out of the CBA, but they voted to make weed legal to be smoked. Priorities. But that's what happens. You got a bunch of niggas that just
and you know something,
not really that educated.
The franchise tag is a real sour topic for me because that's why freaking Dak is laid up right now without his money.
Same thing happened to Earl Thomas a few years ago.
Exactly. Shit like that gets me so tight because it's like, bruh, what more does a player have to do to get security when he's a leader on your team? He produces every single week. And if your team's winning games, he's a big reason why. It's like, what more? Those three things, what more do you need to secure a dude like that on your team?
I don't know, bro.
And for Dak, dude is a model citizen. It's like he's a black quarterback in Dallas.
Oh, Dak paid $1 million to the cops. He ain't that much of a model citizen. But I see where you're coming from, though.
Well, I mean, listen. In terms of keeping his nose clean, being a stand-up guy, being a leader, not getting into no trouble, not causing
beat up at spring break,
probably. But yeah, it's like everything you could look for in a guy to be the face of your organization. He's done that, and he's showing up, putting up big numbers, and he was on pace to kill it this year before he went down. What more does the guy got to do? When is the last time before Dak? When was the last time he took Dallas in the playoffs? Like 2014, 2014 when Dez caught the ball.
But wasn't Dak the quarterback then?
Nah, that was still Romo.
Was it?
But yeah.
It was 2016 was the year with Zeke and
Dak's first
and
year.
Dak. Okay.
Yeah, but before
I don't know why I thought that was 2014. I ain't tripping.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah.
I knew that didn't seem right when I thought about that earlier. I was like he ain't been in the league that long.
Yeah, 2014 was when Romo went up there to Green Bay, and Dak. Let's keep it 100. Dez caught the ball.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Calvin Johnson caught it the week before.
I mean, yeah, but
Dak didn't catch it.
They don't define what a catch is, so we'll never know. But from what I
Whatever
saw,
catch was, Dez didn't do it.
look, from what you could see with two eyes, he caught that ball.
I saw it with my eyes. He didn't have full control of the ball.
He had control
It
going to the ground.
it was literally the same exact situation that happened in the wild card game versus the Lions the previous week. The same situation. All it was just karma. Because Calvin Johnson, God bless Calvin Johnson for just getting the hell out of the league and getting the hell out of Detroit. I couldn't believe it was Calvin Johnson's birthday, and the NFL they tweeted out like a highlight package of like a whole bunch of plays and touchdowns. The Lions was losing by double digits in most of them fucking highlights. That's sad, bro.
Yeah.
God bless Calvin Johnson, man. This dude went into business for himself.
Smart.
He doing his own thing now. He took his NFL money. He got out of there. Hopefully, he good up here in the brain.
Oh, yeah.
And
I don't think, realistically, I don't think he took a lot of bad hits because, I mean, he was towering over just about everybody.
yeah, also true. So he should be good, man. My guy got out of there. He one of them dudes. He took the Larry Sanders route, except Calvin Johnson actually accomplished something. Like Larry Sanders retired so he could smoke weed all the time. That's kind of what Calvin Johnson did too. At least Calvin Johnson.
You mean Barry Sanders?
No, Larry Sanders from the Bucks.
Oh, I forgot about that dude, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a bunch of dudes. That was like what's his name? They played for Miami. The running back. Ricky.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Ricky.
Everybody, I forget that boy. I know you're talking about though. He had the locks.
Yeah.
Almost said Ricky Williams. That's his name.
There we go. Ricky Williams. Yeah, that motherfucker was Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
But he was good though. So it's like, if the dude can get high on a regular basis and still go up there and put yards up.
I mean, Josh Gordon was high, putting up 200 yards a game.
Oh my God.
They said he was high and drunk.
Yeah, man, my thing with him is like he just not smart about it. Like, listen, if you a pothead, you a pothead. The dude was been smoking since Baylor.
Yeah.
So it's
they
like
said he was smoking before that.
Yeah, right. So it's like if that's it. But they're gonna test you. They know that they've popped you before. They know they're watching you.
You're not smart. Randy Gregory also.
Yeah, don't put yourself in a position to get caught. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, Randy Gregory was like that in Nebraska too, because sources again. He had a few tests that just disappeared during his time in Nebraska.
Disappeared.
It disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. They just disappeared.
They weren't.
And he played every game. He gets to the league and he just started getting popped for it. Come on now. All of a sudden, when this dude is hot all the time. I had a coworker met Randy Gregory at a bar when he was still at Nebraska. I think it was before he got drafted. Mm-hmm. And this dude was gone. Ooh. And bummed a cigarette off my coworker too.
Oh man. I've never heard of drug tests vanishing before.
Oh, when you probably the best black shirt at the University of Nebraska, oh, your drug test is gonna disappear, bro. They're gonna do whatever it takes, especially under Bo Pelini. Now under Scott Frost, he might not play that shit.
No,
under Bo Pelini. Shit, under Tom Osborne, we had literal murderers on the team.
Yeah. Some shit was going on. Y'all Cornhuskers or something.
Shout out to Thunder Collins. Shout out to Lawrence Phillips too, R.I.P.
That was something else.
I need a Lawrence Phillips documentary on Netflix.
Well, you know.
You hear about that Vince McMahon documentary?
I was just about to say that. Vince is getting one now.
Ooh, they about to. They got to be honest though, man. You can't have no WWE Network documentaries where they just don't tell the full story. They say like, we bought out WCW, and so we wanted to showcase our new talent. That's why we changed our name. That's not what happened. I changed the name because the Panda Bear said change your name.
Right. Like y'all cannot beat the Animal Crew. It's not gonna happen. But I don't know, man.
As long as they don't, as long as they honest about the stuff, I would love to see it, man. I would love to see a biopic of it. Who could play Vince McMahon in a biopic? I said Willem Dafoe or Matthew McConaughey, but I don't know who else would be able to play other than two.
William Dafoe, maybe. I could see that.
I think Willem Dafoe, he has like that charismatic like rage that Vince McMahon had as a Mr. McMahon character. I think he could convey that very well. That damn it, you're fired. That type of energy, he can do that.
Yeah, he probably could.
You seen Lighthouse?
Nah.
Oh man, you missing out. It's on Prime. You got Prime Video. Go watch The Lighthouse. And just go watch Willem Dafoe. Should have won an Oscar.
That's a good point. I dig it. All right, man. Before I get up out of here, so I've been saying I'm gonna start doing this for the longest time. I'm like, we talk sports heavy all the time on here, but see, we're multi-talented, so I like to talk about a lot of shit, you know. And I'm a big movie and TV show head, so you know now that we're starting to get shows back, I'm gonna try to integrate it more into the show. So I just watched Mandalorian season 2. The first episode dropped.
You giving the no spoiler version because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, you finish? You didn't finish the first season yet?
I ain't finished the first season, bro. I made it to like episode 5.
Okay. All right. So, basically, him and the little baby Yoda, they finish the season off. You know, they go off together and everything like that, and he is tasked with taking him back to his people, back to the Jedi. And so season 2 basically starts that whole journey. He's going off trying to find people that can lead him back to the Jedi. And apparently, if you watch the trailer for season 2, it would appear that your girl Sasha Banks is a member of the Jedi. From what I'm seeing here, she wasn't in the first episode, so we're still getting there. But
it's Jedi time.
Yeah. The Jedi boss Jedi. That how that goes?
I gave her a nickname when they first released the trailer, and I forgot what it was. So I gotta go find it.
Yeah, but yeah. So season 2 just kind of starts that process. You know, he goes back to Tatooine and starts looking for somebody that can point him in the direction of some Jedi, basically. And that it's like it was nothing crazy. Like it was just, you know, kind of just a little introductory episode and everything like that. You saw some familiar faces, and then there's a big cameo at the end of the season. I will not reveal who it is, just to keep the spoilers out. But once you see him, you will know exactly who he is. In fact, there's a couple cameos, but the big one is at the very end. They drop a lot of Easter eggs, which I really appreciate. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
I got started up. I see. I never knew that. See, that's one thing. When y'all was out here talking about Dragon Ball Z and all that, I wish when y'all was talking about Dragon Ball Z, I wish we could start talking about some Star Wars. Because now we talk about Star Wars, I can get into that.
I'm with you right there, bro. I've been fiending on Star Wars since I was like 5 years old, bro. Like,
yeah, my dad is a Star Wars fanatic. So when the prequels came out, he tried to get me into it. I didn't really get into it until after the last prequel movie, Love Revenge of the Sith. I love Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace came on after Dynamite last week, and I turned off my computer so fast, bro. Nobody want to watch this. I can't stand Phantom Menace. Not
Why?
because of the reason everybody, not because of Jar Jar. People don't like Jar Jar. It never bothered me. But this Phantom Menace is just slow, and it's just nothing happens until the race, and
Yeah.
that's like at the beginning of the third act.
I finally came to understand why people didn't like the prequels in general, and it's too political. Because I started off, my uncle actually put me onto the originals just before the prequels came out because I'd never seen them before. He was like, "Yo, you never seen Star Wars? What's up with you?" He had them recorded on the VHSs, so I watched the originals first, and then I got to see the prequels, and I'm like, I didn't understand it back then, but it's like over years watching them back, it's like the prequels are so political, and it's like the first one right off the bat is just like politics, trade federation, and this deal and that deal and invasion. There's too much political talk going on, and it drags the movie for like at least the first hour and a half. So it's like when you look at it from there, it does get hard to get into it from a fan perspective that watched the originals.
I think Attack of the Clones started off bang.
Yeah. But then it mixed a lot of that in too. It's like, a lot of the same thing, but there was just more action. And
it just kept going. Episode 3 as well, like Revenge of the Sith. Like you really, and me, I don't know. It probably because I wasn't big on the originals until after the prequels came out, and I went back and watched the originals again. Like that way, I was able to follow the story in like chronological order, and things made a little bit more sense. But yeah, I don't know why people don't shit. Why people don't shit on the prequels a lot. Like I like the prequels. Besides
I loved them.
I like especially the last two. Even the sequel trilogy. I like that. Like I didn't really care for episode 8 that much, but I liked it more than most people did.
Yeah, no, like
episode 7 was fire, except for somebody. And this is why I don't care about. I'll talk about a movie on Twitter after I see it, because somebody spoiled episode 7 for me the day it came out. Somebody just hopped on Twitter the day it came out talking about R.I.P. Han Solo. Get out of here, bro. So ever since then, I'll talk about a movie on Twitter the day it come out too. I'll go see any movie on the day it come out just so I can talk about it on Twitter.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't shocked about that. Like, you don't want to see it.
It would have hit better though.
It did. It hurt to see, but when you find out, and I knew this for a while, that he wanted to have Han Solo killed, it was just like, okay, it was time.
And then he turned face in the last movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, damn.
Just like Vader.
Yeah, no, I love the prequels, but I understand where the hatred comes from. Like, there's a different perspective for it now. But it's like, listen, if you're a true fan, you love everything. Plain and simple.
Facts. That's why you can be criticizing my wrestling like that, man. I'm gonna hype something up. I'm gonna find something I like on these shows, even if people don't like it.
All right.
Hey, you watch This Is Us?
Nah, I feel like they get too dramatic on that show, to be honest with you, man. Like,
it do, and I will say this, man. I love the show. I think the last season, and then the first, they did a 2-part episode premiere last week. It's the 5th season. They write too much like current event memes and stuff into the dialogue. So this whole episode, they mentioned like COVID, they mentioned Black Lives Matter, they mentioned basically everything that happened from the end of last season in real life, the end of last season all the way to now. And I was like, man, this is too much stuff you throwing at us. And it's like, there was no evidence of a time lapse either. So it was always kind of like bunched up, like it all happened in a couple days. And I was like, eh. But I will say this, for those who don't watch This Is Us, man, y'all know about Randall. You know, the black kid that was adopted by a white family, born on the same day as their other kids. Their kid, they had triplets. One of them died during birth. Other two were healthy. And they came home with another baby who just so happened to be born on the same day. That way they could still go home with triplets and they were able to raise his kid. So Randall growing up his whole life as a black guy raised by a white family with a white mom, just few seasons, the first season, he met his real father, found his, tracked down his real father. He got to spend some time with him. He ended up dying of cancer. Um, and now his dad died when he was a teenager. His foster dad, his adopted dad, died when he was a teenager in the fire. Not in the fire, but as a result of the fire.
Oh
Very,
yeah, that
very
episode,
dramatic show.
the episode where he died in the hospital afterwards.
Yeah, I think it was a Super Bowl episode. A few years ago. So the guy's life is just hella messed up, and now and I really do, like I said, the current events on This Is Us, and they write it into it, seems forced, but this one it kind of goes with the story because it was actually an arc that I was hoping Randall's character eventually got, where he just kind of comes in tune to himself and just kind of discovers himself as a black man, because he never really had the opportunity to really discover it. Excuse me. So last season, he ended up going to therapy, and he had a white therapist. And so in my mind, I'm like, damn, you a brother, like you gotta get a black therapist. And so that now he respectfully told his therapist on the last episode, I'm gonna go with a black therapist because the Black Lives Matter stuff, the George Floyd, they talked about that in the episode, and that's like he really started reevaluating everything. Like he just started saying like, man, and this will really turn the needle. His sister, his triplet sister, by adoption, came up to him and was like, basically, empathizing with him after the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor situation had happened. And he's like, something ticked in him. He's like, man, you never did this before for anybody else. Like, this is not the first time it's happened, but it's the first time you came up to me trying to empathize with me about it. And like, I'm like, hell yeah. So you really just figuring this stuff out. And so I'm enjoying that part of it, man. But yeah, I feel like somebody, his other parent is gonna die this season. So she got an advanced form of dementia on the show. It's all bad. So I think she gonna pass on, man. And it's crazy because Mandy Moore plays the mom of the three kids. And Mandy Moore is like 35 years old. Everybody else is in their late 30s. So like, the woman playing the mom is younger than the kids, or I think that's funny. But they put that makeup on her. She looks 60.
Well, I guess they have to.
Yeah. That's my assessment of This Is Us. So maybe next week on the Havoc Hour, I think we should have a, This Is TC. Is me reviewing This Is Us for the week every time on here. Family Guy is back tonight. Catching that on Hulu at midnight. Can't wait.
Say less.
I'll still watch Family Guy, even though like it's not as funny as it used to be. It's actually Stewie is very, 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 very gay this season. More gayer than other seasons, but it's still funny to me. It's funny to me. Some people don't find Family Guy funny. Haven't found Family Guy funny in like 10 years. I've seen every single episode.
Me too.
Love the show, man.
It's not like slap you funny, but like, yo, that's some funny shit.
It's one of them, like, you turn on just to, turn it on at the, like me, I watch it at midnight on Sunday. So I turn that joint on at midnight, just watch it before I go to bed. Like, give me some good chuckles before bed. Like, it plays its role.
I'm entertained by it.
That's it serves its purpose. I'm not tripping.
No doubt.
Seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV.
Exactly. Tell the truth. Anyway, this has been the Havoc Hour. My guy, TC, appreciate you stopping by, brother. Before we get up out of here, let the people know where they can find you, your socials, and all that good stuff.
Of course, man. Find me at tc.fontaine on Instagram. I don't really post, but it might change soon.
Oh man!
So stay tuned. You also follow everywhere on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at YK Wrestling. Go to ykwrestling.com. If you like this shirt, you go ahead and buy one. You can buy a shirt. You can buy a tank top. Reed got the tank top. You can buy a hoodie. Shout out to good friend of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, Vince Delgado. Oh, okay, you got it on butter. Okay.
Yeah, I still
Shout out to a good friend of the podcast, Vince Delgado. He got the hoodie on deck. Shout out to my guy. I think his name is Nick. At Heel Mitchell on Twitter. My guy, he copped the hoodie, and whenever he wear it, he tag us in it. Let us know. So shout out to him too, man. If you haven't gotten that, this one, if you're watching right now, it's NWO format, white, black on white, white on black. Excuse me. Get the breast cancer awareness. I know breast cancer awareness month has ended, but these shirts are still gonna be for sale. Go ahead and get the Black Lives Matter. So I have my Forrest Whitaker accent. Get the Black Lives Matter. Get the Black Lives Matter pink breast cancer awareness t-shirts as well, man. All these proceeds will be donated. Once I hit my total, I'm trying to near 500. We had about 2 something, nearing 200. So we gotta get them going. I wanna donate this money. It's just sitting in my PayPal. Like, I'm not touching it. It's just sitting there, man. And sometimes, I got automatic payments set up to my PayPal and I forget about it. So then I gotta go replace the money back into it. So I'm not spending it, but it's just sitting there. So we need to get that cracking. I want to get this money done. It's not gonna go to these causes, the ones that just don't tell you where the money going to, where you donate it. It's gonna go to some actual, reputable causes, some reputable organizations. I've done my research for it. So it might say Black Lives Matter. It's not going to them. I don't, like, me personally, don't want to give them the money, because I feel like some of these organizations, when they become too big, like Susan G. Komen, I stopped donating to them. Once I found out, their business practices, I don't donate to them anymore. I actually know survivors of breast cancer. I know people who are currently being treated for breast cancer. Some of the most important women that have played a role in my life, from an educator standpoint.
Mm-hmm. My mom survived 11 years ago.
Yeah. So, I had my high school principal was diagnosed a few years after I graduated. And, me, I don't know, like, at the time, I always associated cancer with the death sentence, just automatically. And so once I found out about that, I found out about it scrolling Facebook. It was an article from the news network. It was like principal diagnosed, and it had a story on it. And I was like, damn. And it was like, our alumni game was that weekend for homecoming. So I was like, man, I wasn't gonna go, but I gotta go now because I gotta go see her. And I get there, and man, she's in just her usual self, high spirit. And me, I'm just going up there feeling grim, like, fuck. And I get there, she is in high spirit, and she, I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, I sat down with my daughter. I told her, I was like, we're some bad bitches. We gonna get through this. So I was like, once she said that, I don't think about it no more. I'm in good spirits when it comes to people.
Honestly, like,
so
yeah, 90% of it is a mindset. Like, my mom was calm about it. That's why I was cool.
Yeah, and her cancer had came back earlier this year, and so she's been getting treated for it throughout this whole year. Hell of a year, and her spirits are still high, man. Like, she'll get on social media and she just her usual self, man, bubbly, outgoing. Like, she's still getting out here, still doing her thing, having fun. So I'm supporting her on it. So I would love to donate some money to her, since she's an active patient for this terrible disease. But we donate to the subscribers, donate to local foundations that do it. It's these national chains, these people who just take a whole bunch of money, and all the donations just get written off as tax breaks. Let's not support them. Let's support some real stuff, man. Let's actually make a difference and not just give money to fill up people's pockets, because that seems to be all that a lot of these big organizations do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said a lot. I feel like I just rambled for a good 3 minutes,
Listen,
but I just had to get that point across.
If y'all need a reason to buy a shirt, you got one. That's the takeaway.
Indeed. And shout out to Kara's Crusaders as well, man. As well. Shout out to my favorite principal of all time.
No doubt. Hey, this has been the Havoc Hour. If you made it this far, appreciate y'all for sticking with us. You know what I'm saying?
If you didn't, you're not gonna hear this, but big middle fingers to you. Oh yeah. Go check out our YouTube too, man. Young Kings Wrestling. I don't think I'll plug that. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Make sure we do. We
got some heat.
We gotta get some more video on there too.
It's coming.
Yeah.
This been our most busy week on YouTube ever. So
let's go. Yeah, man. But we're gonna wrap this up here. Appreciate y'all tuning in, supporting. Make sure y'all go listen on Spotify, Anchor. Catch this video on YouTube with this glorious championship background up here.
You can't see LeBron and AD, but you got my guy right here, the MVP. Cody. You got this dude right here. Man. Yeah. This guy right here, I got a lot of beef with, but he finally did it. I'm covering up the real GOAT, Mookie. Shout out to my guy Mookie, man. My guy Marcus Lindbets coming to LA, getting the job done. He came from the people that call themselves Title Town. Y'all not Title Town no more, but LA Title Town. And the thing is, these are only two teams that's gonna win championships in LA, too. The Kings might could, but yeah, I don't trust no football team to do it.
Oh man, hey, listen. Until next week, it's my guest, my guy TC. Appreciate you stopping by. I'm your host, Wreak Havoc. This has been the Havoc Hour. We out.
Come on.